Hi everybody, welcome and welcome back. My name is Kimiko Sumi and I'm back to do another video today concerning black women and self-love when it pertains to natural hair. What I believe, this is my thoughts. You don't have to agree with me, but these are my thoughts about natural hair and weave and wigs and straight hair and kinky hair, different things like that. A lot of people will say that black women who wear wigs and weaves that are like straight or different colors or whatever they do. I don't really wear different color hair. If you notice, like I like jet black hair or 1B and maybe a 2, every so often. But I generally love really dark black hair, genuinely. Ever since I've been very young, I've always loved very dark hair. Okay, I don't have a problem with anybody else wearing different color hair. I don't have a problem with anybody else's hair texture. I don't care. Because I wear all different types of hair textures, if you notice, but they're all jet black, or like I said, a number 2 occasionally. But my thing is that people try to equate black women who wear natural hairstyles to self-love. That does not mean that somebody loves themselves because they wear their natural hair. I have started to realize that, not really started to, but I've really started to actually admit to my own self that natural hair does not mean that a black woman loves herself, okay? Because she might actually love her hair, and like there used to be a woman on here, a girl on here, her name was You Heard Me the First Time, and she used to create, she had a video, she made a video years ago talking about, just because you might hate your hair doesn't mean you hate your whole self. But because it was in response to people coming for black women for wearing straight weaves and wigs and stuff, or straight hair. But I'm flipping it. Just because somebody loves their natural hair and even their skin tone doesn't mean that they actually love themselves. Just because they accept their natural hair or skin tone does not mean that they love themselves. And I'm going to give you an example. And by the way, I'm wearing a kinky hairstyle, but that doesn't mean anything because I wear straight weaves and wigs too. It's just, I just like pretty hair. I like to have different types of hair regardless of what anybody else thinks. But my example of somebody who I had an epiphany years ago, but I was I wouldn't admit it to myself, but I kind of was like, whoa, this is kind of different. It's like a flip to what You Heard Me the First Time said years ago. Where this lady that I knew, she was a huge pick-me, a huge mammy. And she wore her hair natural, and it was all of her real hair. But she was very much of a coon. She sold me out, she snaked me, okay? She teamed up with racists against me to even help me be in despair and depression and darkness for a little while there. And they actually fired her too really quick. Like, she helped them to, to terrorize me. But she was a coon. She really was a coon. She was a pick-me. She was a mammy, although she wore her natural hair. And it was very beautiful, but she wasn't a nice person. She for one, I don't think she really truly had any self-love. She might have actually did like her natural hair, but I also think back then, because that was a while back when black women first started to really embrace our natural hair once again offline. I actually think that woman, that particular chick that wore her natural hair, that was very beautiful, by the way. I think that she really had intentions to straighten it, or like put a perm on it once it grew out, because there was a lot of black women who did that and still do that. They will grow their natural hair out and then put a relaxer on it. But that does not mean that she would necessarily hate herself because she did that. That doesn't mean anything. A hair texture really doesn't define what how somebody feels about themselves. They can wear they can have their natural skin tone, their natural hair and everything, and still be a fucking coon ass bitch, okay? And she proved that to me years ago. And honestly, she kind of had a similar name to me, and it was really interesting. I really started to think about that person more lately. That person was a huge fucking self-hater. She might have liked her natural hair, maybe because it was becoming more accepting with black women at the time. Because I was wearing my natural hairstyles too. I didn't see too many black women who wore their natural hair the way that I did back then, but in her too. But she was one of the few ones that had started to wear their natural hair. But I generally do not think that she was not only a self-hater, but I think she was a self-hater, and I don't think she was a good person generally. No. She was just there for the money, and she was cutthroat, and she didn't give a damn about another black woman or herself, really. No, because she took up for races against me unprovoked too. But I'm gonna try not to go into that, because I don't really want to be negative, but I'm just saying a woman can wear a straight wig, straight weave, or whatever, and they can even wear blonde hair, but that doesn't mean that they hate themselves either. That doesn't mean that they don't have pride within their blackness or love themselves. They may just be a universal culture person that, I like bits and pieces from different cultures, but I do accept myself for who I am as a black woman. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean my hair is gonna probably be different tomorrow, okay? This is actually like 4C hair. This is like kinky clip-ins, okay? This does not mean that just because this is the kinkiest texture, even though it looks more looser, because these are clip-ins, but it's supposed to mimic 4C hair. And me personally, I love 4C hair the most. That is my favorite hair texture of all hair textures, even though my natural hair is a 4A, 4B. But I love 4C hair, and I tried to get it as close as possible. I even brushed this hair out. But these are clip-ins, 4C clip-ins from Shein, by the way. But at the same time, hold on real quick, y'all. I'll be right back. Okay, hey y'all, I'm back. So I can't remember where I left off at, but I know the general topic that I'm discussing right now. Yeah, basically, just because somebody wears a certain hair texture or hairstyle or even a color, that does not mean that they want to be that race, or they love themselves, or they don't love themselves. And by the way, wigs and weaves go right back to Egypt. They go way back to Egypt. Straight black hair, bangs, kinky hairstyles, braids, box braids and stuff like that, go back to ancient Kemet. So, I can kind of understand with blonde hair, but I don't really care about that either. People have a right to wear their hair however they want. Now, I will say you shouldn't put the people down. If you're wearing their hair texture or wearing their hairstyles and stuff, I wouldn't put that group of people down. Like, I really wouldn't do that, because, well, you're wearing their hair texture. So, that kind of contradicts itself. It's kind of hypocritical. So I understand that. But me personally, I like all types of hair. I do. As long as it's healthy and it's pretty. I'm just a hair type of person. I'm just like a type of person that loves beauty. I am a Libra, so I love beauty. I love it. Okay, because I was born under the sign of Venus, and I actually have double Venus in my chart, by the way. I have Taurus and Libra. Libra is my bona fide sign that I was born under, because I was born on October 13, 1988. And so I'm a Libra, and I have Venus in my chart twice. So I love beauty. So I really love different hair. As long as it's pretty, I don't care who is wearing it, I don't care. But generally, me, I like dark hair, and I like it to be different textures. And I'm gonna be honest, I really love Asian women's hair. I do. Like that's the hair that I wear, and the color, when it's straight, I love it. I do. I love it. Indian women's hair, black women's hair, everybody's hair. I love hair as long as it's pretty. But that's just my opinion, y'all. So I'm gonna leave y'all on that note, and this goes for anybody, not just black women. By the way, this is not just for black women, but I just wanted to give an example, because people seem to think because a black woman wears their hair natural, that she loves herself and she's for her people. versus a black woman who wears straight hair or even straight blonde hair not loving themselves and not loving their people, when it could definitely be the flip. Okay, it could be the reverse. Like, that person that you think love themselves really don't, and the person that you don't think love themselves, they actually do. Okay, so I'm gonna leave y'all on that note, and I hope you like, comment, subscribe, share my video, hit the notification bell if you like, and I will see y'all in another video, my lotus flowers, and I hope y'all have an amazing rest of the day, and I will too, and I will see y'all in another one. Peace, I'm out. Bye bye.